Hi, and welcome to the Bigger, Better, More podcast with Hoku and Emily. We'll be having high vibrational conversations about everything, from where we are to where we're headed. Stay tuned for the full episode.
I see the volume. What?
Make sure your volume. Did you check the roller on your headset?
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, now I can hear you. I'm just not going to plug it back in. I'm going to say it's got enough juice and it's all going to work out.
Okay.
We're just going to go with that. Oh, my God. Sorry about that. Time makes no sense because today felt so long being stuck. And then the minute I went into, no, I'm not, I'm moving forward, time started flying again. It's just so funny.
Well, it's funny because it just feels like it moves so much faster now. And like it is. It's not that stuff doesn't happen. It's that we stop getting triggered in the same places and we let it go of the triggers so they're not triggering us anymore. And then we're choosing the more that we want. And then we're totally not oriented towards what was happening over there in the first place.
Yeah, I really want to let go of reality or old concept.
I know, the small R reality.
I'm ready to let go.
Well, the new reality, this is the thing. When you take on your creator being, you start being present to the world you want to create. And it gets created because you say so. Because you say, this is what I want my life to be, and then you align with it and allow it to occur. But that's why I'm taking all these moves in these ways, like, doing the podcast, opening it up, because it's like I've recognized I've stopped myself from, the exposure didn't feel safe to me. And now it doesn't feel right not to anymore. And safety is not the factor. It's actually I need to fulfill on my life in a bigger way. And sharing what's coming to and through me is what my life is about at this point. So why not focus all your attention on that? But that's the thing. It's extracting what that is for you now, because there's some of the old that we like, and there's some, and we're evolving all of it too. Because it's like you want to look good, you just don't want to feel like pressured about it to be a certain way. And it's like, okay, so extract all the judgment and limitation and the fear about not being right, and now be in your divinity and know that you are regardless, because in your choosing, you are creating that which you want to live into. But the only part of that I kind of feel like saying is like you're realizing the discipline that it takes to do that. It's so much easier to just go the way it's been because we're used to it, instead of really stepping that one extra step forward, And that's okay. But the new will be so much of who we are and what we want that we will not give deference to the old world anymore. We won't even want to look at it for a while until we can look at it with grace. I mean, that's what I feel like. It's like it's too hard for me. I'm too raw still from my small R reality experience of pull and limitation. It doesn't work for me. But I need to get used to my big R reality, because the thing is that people talk about reality only in the aspect of it's something imposed on them, and it's like, but the new is not that. The new is a reality that's your creation. That's your intention. That is your new potential of something. It's meeting your energy, meeting the new as new, but more high vibrational from your better knowing. Not from I'm less than, but from I'm more than I've ever known. And I'm going to continue to expand in that direction until I fulfill at every level. That's a new space. Because they're saying it's like that. Even though that's the direction you're going, you're not treating that, that's more of a reality for you now than the old is. You're just more familiar with the old, and so you're giving it more deference in that I've had that, but that doesn't matter, because the new is going to be so prevalent in your new before too long that you will have zero. I mean, you've seen how the old is falling away anyway. It's just going to be more of that. And then you're going to be so present in the now and excited about the future, you're not going to be looking over your shoulder anymore once you know that's not coming for you, And it does feel like it's still, there's this potential that it could come for us. And it's like, it can't really.
It's so funny that that's there.
Yeah.
No, that was how I felt today. Totally.
Well, and the thing is that, it's where you get to be your own gatekeeper. It's like you kind of let it in and sit on the couch for a while with you and have a conversation and saying, hell no, you don't belong here. Get out of my house. You did get eventually there. You said, at some point. But you entertained it for a while, and that's all it is. Yeah. It's like, you get to entertain whatever you want. You're just noticing now it doesn't feel great to entertain stuff you don't want, so you don't have to do that. And that's where you can take your power and say, okay, not that, then what? What do I want now? I want to feel peaceful, easy. I want to be free of this. I want to know the world's unfolding in a way that I get to be me in such a easy, peaceful way. I'm just showing up, and the world meets me there, and we co-create and coalesce together and dance, right? But it's so funny how I love when they do that, have that visual aspect of you're sitting with it in your space. It's like if it was somebody that you didn't like or that you were afraid of or that grossed you out, you would not have them sitting in your space. And we don't want you to be that polite that you would. We actually don't want you to do that.
I know. Yeah, I'm learning so much. I mean, every day.
I know.
Wow. Every day right now.
Well, and it's kind of fun. It's fast moving, but it's also, what it is for me, and it's so funny that's an old way to say it too. It feels a little out of control, and they're like, yeah, because control always has a fear element in it. It's not that. It's like you do have command of this. You just don't know. It's kind of like, we're being taken for the ride, and they say we have command, and we're like, we don't even know how to do this. Like, do we slow it down, speed it up, take it higher? Like, what do we do? And they're like, just get comfortable. Like, get comfortable. That's all there is to do is get comfortable. Get into that balance, get into that, but allowing it to flow. It's something that they said earlier when I was on a call was, we have to allow ourselves to know that we can float and flow and be taken care of and guided and clear in that. You have to stop kicking your arms and feet, because if you kick your arms and feet, you think you're keeping yourself afloat, and it's not until you fully let it go and say, I'm just going to float to see if you can float. But that's where we're having all of the old to-do things, like all the ways of being to figure it out, make it happen, or push things forth. It's like we're not doing that anymore, because that's really not how we want it to be. We want to be in inspired action. We want to be in the I get to creative ability to choose what we want. There's freedom ahead of us. There's unlimited being ahead of us. And there's love that is the building block of everything we desire that's there. So, I feel like a kid going into a sandbox. Like, let's start building. But it is not, we're at the point we're not even there yet. We're still going, how do I feel to be here? And am I clear enough, am I over the traumas of my past enough to be in this without there, that sparking up, right? Like that's what we've been doing, is clearing out the old to the point where we can be comfortably in the new and know that we're making those choices and that we're aligning with that at that level. And I think we're both conscious of that, but to realize, because I feel like you still don't recognize the level you're at because you're still feeling the depth of the contrast. And it's actually worse sometimes because of where we are. But I have that too. Like I have days where I'm like, what is going on? Like this feels so bad. And it's like, but that's because the level of contrast is there. And it's also giving us guidance. It says, not for you. Why are you looking at this? Why are you entertaining this? Why are you having this in your life right now? It's clearly not in alignment for you. If you want to choose something about it, choose it now, let this go and keep it moving. It's like, because sometimes like I do want to make an impact on things, but then you can make a choice from an energy perspective of saying my intention, for the highest good of all. That's what I always ask for. And it's like, yeah, that's a good one, but you've done that. Like we need to know we've done that part. It's not like we have to attend to the world every time we make a move. It's like we need to start making the moves, right? So we can be the part of us that, will demonstrate what's possible in the world in a new kind of way. And, we get to be the proof that the new way works when we move fully into it. And we can't do that. We can't prove it works until we actually let it work, like allow the new way to be.
Until we get there.
Yeah. And it doesn't, the thing is that part of you winning is not about the getting part. It's about you being at ease and in the flow of your life in a way that has you feel fulfilled. And I think we sometimes focus on the other thinking that will naturally happen. But if we haven't oriented ourselves that way, sometimes it's not. I've known people who got everything they thought they wanted and that would make them happy. And then suddenly they realized they weren't happy. And I'm like, yeah, you never cultivated that along the way. It's like that's not anything you were trying to get this so you could then have that, and then it's like all of a sudden you don't have access again because you've never tried, never cultivated that space. And that's what we're doing. It's like cultivate the spaces that you can. You can do your part by just being, what we were talking about earlier, orienting yourself to the positioning of whatever you're about to do. It's like, oh, I'm going to take a nap. Well, I want to be as expansive as possible and available to spirit or available to relaxation or invigoration or whatever you're trying to do. That. But also, oh, I'm going in the world. I want to be the light that I am. I want to align with, the bigger, better, more in the world. Let's see what that looks like now. It's a very much like show me the way. It's not, it doesn't have to be I know how to do this and I can make this plan. It's just being available for the world, knowing we've already chosen things that are aligning with us. We've already chosen our highest good, which shows us our path and the way. We just need to align with the interpretations as they are. Because we used to think things that felt bad were things that we were doing wrong, not that weren't in alignment with us. It's like now we're clear. It's like, exactly. And it's like then you try and be better because of that, and then you're misorienting yourself entirely because you're trying to align with something that wasn't meant for you to align with in the first place. It was supposed to be a piece of information that says, guess what? This is in alignment with you. Now it's time for you to be free. If not this, then what? That was the potential that we did. But we got so fearfully entangled in everybody else's perspectives that we stopped honoring our own, and here we are, disentangling ourselves and getting back to where we started, which is knowing we know.
And I just keep getting the image that you said before, we've talked about, of floating up, like letting go of the side of the barrel or the railing
I do
or
really
whatever
love
it is, and letting it float up.
The story of the stream creatures in the beginning of...
Yes.
What is that title of the book? It's The Reluctant Messiah. No, there's a big part before that. I'm going to have to ask. Who wrote The Reluctant Messiah?
Here's what I found.
Oh, it's Illusions by Richard Bach.
Yeah.
He was the same guy. He's the guy that wrote Jonathan Livingston Seagull. But I love that part. That's the very part in the front where they talk about the stream creatures who let go and then they float. And then all the other stream creatures think they can fly because they let go of their old stuff. It's like,
right.
I can't wait till I look like I can fly. But as metaphors go, it really is that. It's kind of, but it's also, part of that is the willingness to see what's downstream, and allowing that and knowing there's a bigger potential waiting for us, that's good and true and aligned with who we really are.
Yeah, God, it's the switch from this bad and wrong, I missed the boat, I failed, I didn't do that, blah, 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 blah. And it's the switch from that to, oh, that wasn't in alignment with me then, or I wasn't in alignment with it, which meant it wasn't in alignment with me. So here we are, moving forward and putting everything in front of us instead. Because, again, that's where I got caught today. I just got caught, and I was like, oh my God, what if I missed the boat and I missed to talk to the wrong person at the wrong time and I cut these people off or whatever? And then it's like,
No, but well, and I do feel
no.
like it's a little bit of the responsibility part too. Like that's not your part
Oh,
anymore. You know, it's like you're not responsible to make it okay. You need to know that it's being aligned for you in that way. And the thing to pay attention is to what feels good and what doesn't. You've seen it when it works really well. You're noticing when that
yeah.
alignment
Yeah, it's true.
occurs, like this feels good, truth works, you know, authenticity works. But every time you make yourself responsible for somebody else or how they're doing anything, like that's not your job. Yours is this what I want and does it align with me? It's the thing I told you. I told my client the other day. It was, you know, we're moving from, because she was looking at men like, am I good? You know, am I good enough for you? She was kind of like going on a date and saying, am I
Mm-hmm.
okay for you? And it's like, why you need to shift that? And it's like, are they good enough for you? You know, is this somebody who
Right.
matches who you are? Like, why would we, you know, you don't pick up an outfit and say, do I fit all right for you outfit? And it's like, no, you know, it's like, I mean, that's a little superficial, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, you want it
No,
to
but
be
I've
a
never heard it
matching
put that way. That's
experience.
so it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
But
is
that's
that.
so
It's like
well put. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I want to I feel like where they've been kind of showing me, it's like look at the world and see what comes to you and is it what you want or not? And no judgment on anything for any reason. Is it feel good or doesn't it feel good? And if, you know, don't choose the things that don't feel good and choose the best of the things that do feel good. You know, like that's what there is to do right now. But let go of the judgment of
Right.
I have to do this or I'm bad because I don't want to do this. It's like because I'm realizing so much. Like there's a
Mm-hmm.
part of me as a healer, as a person who's kind of grown up in the woo world, this expectation of being able to help people. But the truth is, I'm recognizing, you know, the opportunity to do like this as a podcast with you or you know, writing the book and doing these other things, it's like it really does leverage the message so much more. And I've kind of been afraid to have that kind of exposure, but the one at a timing it is just not enough. And not enough from my personal perspective, but it's like, you know, I'm just getting that call to bring the message out into the world more. And I feel like a lot of people are. I mean, and that's why Cheryl's writing in the
Right.
book. That's why you're, you know, all of the things you've been doing, your poetry, your songwriting, your even all of that is becoming more. And a lot of that, you know, because they're showing me it's like it doesn't matter how the energy emanation gets out there. The wording is going to call different people in different ways. And you know, it will call their audience to them at different places. You know, it's funny, I had a client the other day. I hadn't talked to her for a while. She was kind of one that I said, "Okay, you're good, like, you know, go on."
Yeah.
But she told me she's
Yeah.
like, I
Mm-hmm.
moved. She goes, "I had another healer I was working with and I finally realized I moved past her." And I'm like, "Yeah, it happens." Like, you know, it's like you don't stay where you're at. Luckily, you grow and you can have new teachers and new ways of, you know, perceiving and seeing things. But that's one thing for me. I mean, I probably moved through, gosh, at least half a dozen, probably much more than that because there were a lot of kind of people along, you know, just additionally on the way. But like solid teachers who were present in my life, there were at least half a
Yes.
dozen, you know. And then
Nice.
again, all those other people who were just, you know, people I knew or there was actually a lot now that I think of it. But it's like you just, you know, you
But it's
learn from
not a
who you're
judgment
with.
on them.
Right. Well, and it's
Yeah.
also it's how we grow. It's how we learn. It's how it's meant to be. We're meant to keep it flowing if you want to keep it flowing. If you want to settle down and stay where you're at, you can do that too. But I'm just finding for myself, it's so funny. My mom, when she was visiting, she's so curious. And I'm like, I just recognize myself in different ways about her because I'm not curious about the same thing she's curious, but I am curious. Like, I want to know what the more is about and keep moving
Mm-hmm.
into it in a way that that I understand that not everybody has that. And that's okay too. I don't even encourage people to kind of like I've just felt so, you know, to my detriment sometimes so called to do it, but at the same point, it's got me where I want to go. So I can't complain about it either. But I'm saying all that to say, we're up to what we're up to, and it's time to let ourselves be that and do that. Because it's like, I feel like I've been trying to tame the wild horses, and I'm like, why not just let them run? Like, they don't need to be tame. I don't need to do that. Like,
right, no.
we can just,
no.
that's what I talk to you is running with the wild horses, because I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I don't know what's going to come up. But it's freeing to be able to have the conversation about the bigger, better, more in the new ways and allow it to unfold as it does. That's exciting to me. I want to live there a lot. That and better.
Right, and how much fun, right, bigger, better, more. But how much fun that your curiosity leads you in this direction, because that's what you're aligning with. People's curiosity is like your mom. You said it's different. Hers are in different areas, but that doesn't mean they're wrong either. It's the curiosity that's leading you forward, that's leading you to do this.
More than ever before, what I'm finding is I speak my perspective. I listen to other people's perspective. I'm always looking for somebody who's got a better perspective than I do. Like, please share with me. But it's also knowing that I like my perspective a lot, and that I invite other people to it, and I'm not attached to it whether they do it or not, because I knew, I did this myself. I was a dumb, resistant person a lot. And I say that with no joy. It's like, to my own detriment, I held back. And of course, there were good reasons and why and whatever. And it doesn't matter, because it was all the experience that is now behind me. Right? And it's like, I don't have to lament that I was dumb for a really long. I'm still dumb. I'm not going to lie. But less dumb, perhaps. But it doesn't matter. They're saying it's like, but you're self-accepting. It doesn't matter how dumb you are, because you're going to move to a point where you're going to, we always look back and say, I knew less then. It should be that way. We should be creating more and more and moving forward, or not should be, but that's the opportunity. And that's why I don't want to stop, but it's also why I'm just like raring to go right now.
You're not stopping. We are moving it forward. I'm reminding myself of that as I say it too. Like, today was not stopping. Today was a pause, but it doesn't mean that forward movement didn't happen.
You know what, though? I really look at it like,
choosing.
When you have a bad situation that you don't feel good in, I feel like, we're learning the remedies, because it's kind of like, I don't know why. They're showing me when I used to hang out with Mark and he would be late, and it was like, I didn't like it, but it caused me to know how to handle it in the future, and it's like, I knew certain people would be late, and it's like, okay, if you know what you're dealing with, you can deal with it, kind of. But I got to choose a different way instead of being in the same upset, because I could have been upset every time too, And so I walked it forward to being like, okay, This is what's happening. This is the way they are. This is my expectation. And let them know that I knew that, because you had to, because if they suddenly were on time one day, what would you do? But the truth is that, because they're saying it's like, it doesn't cause you to lessen your standards, it just causes you to know who you're dealing with. And the truth is, I feel like at this point now, we're not really dealing with that level of, I don't know how to say it. I feel like there was some misalignment in that if we were both more honest, we could have communicated in a way that allowed for everybody to have the space and time that they needed. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like it would have just been like, how like we do. We're just like, okay, I'll talk to you like the hereabouts, and, I'm not ready or whatever. Like, you just do the little bits of communication to line it up. And you don't, well, they're saying when you know the basis of your relationship, when it's love and connectedness and forward movement and all of this.
Safe.
Yeah, it's just like, know that. You don't think, I didn't feel like doing it, so therefore it's bad, or I'm going to think wrong of you. It's like, no, I honor. That's the cool part. It's like, I get to do the part that I want to also receive, which is to love and honor and appreciate and accept fully. It's like it really is fun to unconditionally love people when you let yourself. Getting to that point is less fun. Because all of that conditional stuff will smack you in the face until you realize, oh, I just get to love this person. And they're going to make their own decisions. And a lot of them are going to be things I might not do. But so what? So what? You know, it's like we're all different. Every single person is having their own unique experience on the planet. You know, the best thing we could do is to help each other out in that and encourage each other on the way. You know, that's what we're doing.
Well, honesty. I mean, you have really shown me the gift. Not that I ever thought honesty wasn't the best policy, but truly to see the power in it.
Right.
Like, it's not about... the more honest, the more everyone gets what they need and want.
Right.
And it's just really cool to continue seeing that in action. It's exactly what you just said. Whether it's someone who has a different sense of time or someone who is, you know, not in alignment in a certain way, or it helps with alignment, it helps with clarity, it helps with ease.
Yeah.
Really throwing that back in my face. Yeah. Clarity, alignment, and ease.
Well, and to also realize that somebody else having a different perspective does not negate your perspective at all. It doesn't matter at all what other people think.
Right.
Your perspective gets to be valid for you. You know, that's the one thing that I realize. It's like people want you to agree with them. And it's like, I don't have to agree with you to love you. You know, it's like... You know, and the truth is, I don't even want to argue about stuff we don't agree on. I want to move past and know that we actually love each other and then stand there. Like I've done that with, I told you, with some contrasting clients that have different perspectives from me. It's like, I don't want to debate this topic. I want to move past and know we each get to make our own choices and we can honor each other there. You know, that's what I want to know. Because I don't care about anything else.
Right.
You know, it's like you get to choose what you get, but you also get the outcome of that. And I don't want bad outcomes for people I love, but I also know I don't get to choose for anybody. So, you know, there's that.
Right. We're only
not that I can't be persuasive.
How cool. Yeah. Yeah. No.
I feel like I'm selling candy all the time. Like it seems like something bad and it's not. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like I'm trying to get people like, look over to love, look over to freedom. And it's like, yeah, everybody's looking. They're like, yeah, it looks good, but what's the trick? What's the catch here? And it's like, the catch here is you don't have to suffer anymore. You don't have to effort. You don't have to feel misaligned or wrong. You know, it's like, I don't know, but that doesn't even sound real. Even when I say it out loud to myself, it's like if I said somebody caught in the mundane, if I told them it's like there's this better place you can live in love and freedom and unlimited being, can they hear that? You know? Or do I sound like a wacko? And the truth is, I'm not a wacko because I live over here already.
You're not.
You're my neighbor, so. We both live over here.
Yeah, exactly. Thank God. Oh my God, I'm so happy to be over here, even when I forget that I'm over here. No, you're not a wacko, and the funniest part is that love and ease are sold, are not even sold. They're not even marketed in the mundane.
I know. Well, and it's, you know what?
Priorities are.
You know what's weird? It is, but it's kind of been so folded into the rest of it, because it's like, we all know, you know, John Lennon and, you know, love is the answer and, you know, one love and all of this.
But people dismiss it.
Exactly.
People dismiss it as cheesy or unattainable or whatever.
I did a session with a client, and I was at her place, and they said, she has all the signs, but in my mind, I saw like a literal sign, and I looked around, and she literally had these signs that says, be your, I don't even remember what they all said, but it was kind of like, be your best self, or be the you want to be, or like stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, she's telling herself the right messages, but it's not that the information's not there. It's that you're not allowing it to soak in, you know? That's the thing about, Like when people say I'm unlovable, it's like it's not that you're unlovable, it's that you're not letting it in when you say that. The big lie is you are somehow could potentially be separate from love. That's that's why I had to look up the
Right.
Bible. I looked up Bible quotes because they were talking about how the devil was, you know, really like that aspect of it, because I never understand like why people are drawn to believe the bad things. And it is kind of the big lie. It's believe this horrible thing instead of
Mm.
believing you're loved. And we're somehow willing to believe it, you know? And because now it gets perpetuated. Now it's, we're born sinners, or we're born, we're just told
Oh
we're
my
not
God.
quite right,
Right.
no matter what. But it's really the
Inherently
opposite.
wrong. Yeah, exactly.
I told you that, well, my dad used that against me. It's like, you're going to use a God quote against me and make it work for me? Okay. I like that.
Right.
God made man in his image and likeness. What does that mean? That we're greater than we can even know. I looked up there was a Jesus quote. It's not a quote, it's like from the Bible that says basically like Jesus said this and more you can do. And I had to look it up because I'm like, I know I'm just interpreting that in a very
Oh.
short kind of way. And I should pull it up because it's the thing that my guides keep showing me of, where are my glasses? You know what? And I say this and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pull it up. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I think it's this one. Hold on. I feel like I got sidetracked, but bear with me. I think there's something at the end of this.
Oh no, I'm here with you. I feel it too. This is feeling very flowy. I can't even tell you. I feel like I'm on a boat. I feel like I'm on a boat. It's so cool.
What? Now I can't find it. I also looked up a whole bunch of other quotes about. Well, I was trying to find out how many times that the Bible says love, and it was like there's varying accounts,
Oh.
but roughly around 1,000 times. So.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I lied. I thought I saved it, and I didn't save it. But oh no, I wrote it down. See, this is where I have technology crossing with my actual sticky notes.
It's good to have the analog version too.
I know. I'm so all over the place with all of it, though. I really do need to get all my little duckies in a row. Okay, I lied. I don't know where I wrote it. I have so many notes that I didn't even recognize were here. Okay, damn it. It was. Oh, I know where I wrote it. I wrote it on my white cards. Bear with me. Technical difficulties.
I insert the color screen that used to come up on TV. Yeah.
Oh, here it is. John 14:12, verse 12. Damn, that took a lot of effort.
Wait, what was it? What is it?
I have to look it up. So the quote is from John 14, verse 12, which is, "Very truly I tell you, whomever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these, because I am going to the Father." So it's basically Jesus saying, all that I have done you can do and more, and you will, and it like saying it's going to be amplified what you can do, the greater things, the bigger, better, more. Sorry, stand by. Because I am going to the Father, because he's realigning with, that energy, so we have that capacity. But it's not a very well promoted quote as far as I'm concerned. It's the one that stuck with me the most because I felt the resonance of that potential.
I love that so much. Yeah.
And I really like it. It's so funny. It's funny because I've always steered away from talking about religion because it's so triggering for most people. And I feel like, I don't know everything about all religions, but I was, exposed to some. And I just realized it's like, yeah, a lot of it's, I get it. It's super aligned, but it's like, if you keep it in limitation, it doesn't get to be as powerful as it can be. If you say, no, that can't happen, no, you can't be greater than Jesus,
Yeah.
like what an audacious thing to say. How dare you? That's blasphemous. Jesus just said that. I didn't say it. I'm quoting a Bible quote. But they don't hear it like that. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not saying this. This is from the book. It's like if you're aligned with that, it's like, don't be mad at me about it. But the thing is to think about it in that bigger way, because I think as a society, that's part of what we've lost. That's why I say it's like people get bored and then they go sideways and they think they can't do anything. But what if you could be all Jesus-y and everything? What if you could heal and make, change the world? It's like that's how I want to empower people, saying, yes, you can. And you likely will if you're listening, if you're paying attention to what's there for you, if you want to move forward. And not that you have to. I feel like, it's so... You can be who you are doing anything. You know what I mean? It's like, because I don't want to say you have to be productive in any kind of way. They always show me it's like you can sit on a mountaintop or, or be, it doesn't have to be anything. We came in to have different experiences, to be all the colors, to be all the sexes, to be all the opportunities and all the mitigating factors and all of it. And we've done that. And now we realize it's like, now we want to, pull to a different way. We want to present more as an opportunity, more as a feel free to, go this way. Because I think it's like, I feel like it's been calling, but it's not been calling strongly, and now it's calling strongly. Because we have so much that's not in alignment with who we are in our truth. And we need to, realign with that, or that's the potential. We don't need to nothing. We get to.
Right, the need to and the have to's go away. Yeah. Well, but even just having the experience while you're here, I love that you said that, because that feels like productivity in and of itself. You being you is still affecting others that you come across. You being you is still vibrationally in existence here.
Well,
that's productive, right?
Yeah, but the trippy part is that's true no matter what. Your energy affects the rest of the world,
exactly,
but what effect you're having on the world might be unconscious or, not really what you want or what you want to have experienced. But that's the thing is I think people aren't choosing from a big enough potential. It's like if you look at the mundane world, there's a whole bunch of not looking good options over there. And it's like, yeah, I don't want to choose over there. I want to choose over here, where things can be bigger, they can be better than I've ever known them to be, that the world can evolve in a way that actually works for more people and aligns people to themselves in a way that fulfills in new ways. My guides used to always say, it's like, there's no design flaw with this. There's a fundamental misunderstanding of who we are. Because when we say we're not perfect from the get-go, then we try and fix being wrong. But when you're not wrong, you're trying to fix something on top of it, it doesn't work. Then you just, chase your tail. So the opportunity is just to step forward and saying, okay, what if I was exactly right? And what does that look like now? And let go of every other part that wasn't really you. And it is, it is a bit dying to the old self. Like we've tried to be who we thought we were supposed to instead of being who we really are. And that's the opportunity right now, is being who we really are and finding out what that is. But it's always based in love. I used to, like, very early on when I started working with people, they're like, but people could go sideways. People could take advantage. They can go into ego. And I'm like, not when you're at your core. You're based in love. Your ego does not take over. I promise you. It does not. It's like you come from a different space and you orient differently. It really does become something else. So, and because anybody who's that's aberrant energy on top of somebody, and a lot of people do get damaged to the point where they do damage to other people. It does happen. We see it all over, but this is our opportunity to stop that and start, addressing how we want this to be, so we don't keep allowing stuff we don't know what to do about happen. It's like, but at a bigger level, kind of that bigger choosing. And that's the thing I always look at. I just can so go on rants all the time. I apologize. But that's when I look at the United States. The United States is trying to right itself.
Yeah.
It's like we already have a constitution. We know who we've chosen to be. We just aren't being that right now. And until we align more with what that is, we're going to have the turmoil that extricates that, right? But that's what we've been doing as individuals too.
Right.
All that is not really who we are has to go so who we are can take up all the space. But then that's also an ever-evolving thing. It's not a stagnant thing. It's not to get to where you are. It's to get to that ever-flowing space of coalescing with the rest of the all that is in a way that fulfills you in your life. And again, you can do that whatever. You can sit in meditation. You can take a nap. You can be in the world. You can be in the middle of a huge city with tons of stuff going around. You're still you being you, doing you.
Right, exactly.
Or a little island in the middle of the Pacific that's
or a little
far
island.
away.
Just gonna say chickens in the backyard. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.